Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ketchup Court TV. I go by the name of Heinz and this is the Ketchup Court podcast. We are recapping today on the Washington versus Ali and Ali trial, and we are going through day 3 recap, where is the continuation of Fatima Ali's testimony, and also Isaiah's testimony is going to happen on the day as well. That's the main focus for the stream. We also had other testimony from the eyewitnesses such as Zayla and Caleb as well. These were minors that testified to what they saw that day, and their testimonies were pretty key. Athena, I thought, was probably the standout witness that was very clear in her definitions. In her descriptions of what happened. So we are going to go through all of these witnesses' testimony. Forgot to say, Julie Mullen, who is the police officer that spoke with Isaiah, she gave a very short testimony. Nothing much, no fireworks or anything like that came out of it. If you missed last night's stream, we went through day 2, so we're not gonna go over Fatima's testimony from the direct exam or the cross exam. We're not gonna go over that, but we are gonna call back to some parts. So if you want to get the full sense of what I was speaking about on that stream, make sure you go check out day 2's recap. But yeah, we are now on to day 3. Thank you everyone that are tuned in right now. If you're watching back on replay, make sure you hit the like button, and if you're watching now, also hit that like button. Don't forget to share this stream so that people can know that so that people can join in and hear about this case, because it is a very tragic case. In my opinion, she could have lost her life based on the testimonies that we have heard, and it took, from what we've heard, it may have taken 5 or 6 people to had finally released the grip of her father, Ihsan Ali, who is on trial for attempted second-degree murder, and is also facing, I believe, first-degree assault charges and fourth-degree assault charge on Isaiah Barnes. But yeah, those are the but we went through the charges on day 1 recap, so you can go check that out. But without further, I'm gonna go into the testimony. The first witness that was up today, she was finishing off her testimony. We started off in redirect exam. It was Fatima Ali, who was the victim of the choking. She continued. The redirect exam was basically asking her about the trip to Iraq, and she was indicating that she didn't even know when she was going to travel to Iraq. Of course, we know from the judge's ruling that they couldn't go into details of what happened in Iraq, what her home life was like. They couldn't go into detail what abuses that she was going through in Iraq. It was only that they can talk about how they can only mention that she was in fear, but they couldn't go into the substance of the fear, which I felt really handicapped the state in a big way. And I do understand the judge's ruling, because we are talking about crimes being committed, and it could be viewed prejudicially in a case where you have attempted murder. So Yeah, so I do understand it, but it would be a lie to it will be a lie to say that the state is not trying to go against is not trying to present a case with their arms tied behind their back. That's what I think. And the prosecution also went into the reason why she was skipping classes, and this was an issue that the defense brought up that we went through yesterday. They basically said that she was skipping classes because she was not that she was skipping classes, and they were alluding to the idea that it was for Isaiah. But today, the defense were basically clearing up that she just didn't enjoy school, and when she skipped class, she was going to the bathroom. This completely eliminated the idea that it was actually Isaiah that she was skipping classes for. So it kind of puts it back into the playing field in which the parents just had unjustified I don't personally speaking, if I could be candid with this one, I don't think that this line of questioning that was done on redirect cured the damage that was done on cross, because I did say that it really helped the defense when they established that she was a truant. So they are basically trying to show that the parents reacting this way is likely that they didn't intend to kill her, but sorry, they didn't intend to try to kill her or anything like that. But it was just they were trying to manage their household. That's the idea I'm getting here. And when you have a testimony in which the daughter is basically saying that she was skipping school because she was skipping classes because she didn't enjoy school. She just didn't enjoy aspects of the classes. She only enjoyed two subjects, etc. It gives the idea that she may have been a difficult child at home, which is why they tried to teach her at home. So that's the idea I think the jury are getting, and it might go against the intent part that the prosecution is trying to prove. But we're gonna go into the part of her testimony where she actually said that that her parents didn't like her dating Isaiah. So let's go ahead and go into that testimony right now.
Were they supportive of you getting a 504 plan?
No.
So I don't know what the 404 plan is. I may have missed testimony around that, but I don't think I'm not sure if they actually went into detail of what the 404 plan is. But if I missed it, I'm pretty sure that when I put together the full recap for this, I will provide more information in regards to that, because I usually go over the streams one more time and get as much detail as I can to look over my notes. So I may not know what the 404 plan is for this particular stream or the details surrounding it, but the testimony so far is that they were not really supportive of her getting this plan.
If Mr. Kading asked you yesterday, or said you didn't tell your parents things, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that a fair statement? Did you not tell your parents things?
Yeah.
Okay. Why wouldn't you tell your parents things?
I was afraid.
Okay. Were you comfortable telling them things that you knew they wouldn't like?
No.
Would they like knowing that you were dating at all?
They would not like that.
They would not like that?
Yes.
Was it dating in general? Was it dating Isaiah? Was it dating boys? Like any part of that?
Dating in general.
Dating in general was not okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So in my opinion, this gives the idea that she came from a restrictive household that has been established on the direct and on the direct exam, that it was a very strict household. They didn't want her dating, etc. But you also get the idea that there must have been, at least the jury in my mind, are most likely thinking there must have been a reason why she was in fear of her parents. But because of those reasons not coming in, they might be thinking that this is just normal teenage fears in which you get the idea that she's gonna date, and they might use the experience because the boy was a black boy, so they might use that and say it could be there could be a racial component to this. So maybe they could look at that and think that that could have pushed them to the edge, and not necessarily the fact that she was just a rule breaker or anything like that, because that is the main defense that the defense of both parents are trying to put on, that she was just not that they were just trying to discipline her, and it wasn't something that the father was looking to go out with the intent to kill, because that is part of the attempted murder, that they have to show that there was intent to kill, and there was a substantive step taken to commit this act. So from this testimony on what the prosecution is trying to clean up, it seems to me that she is trying to create the idea that she wasn't a truant, that she was just a kid that just had normal hormonal experiences where she's liking one guy, and the parents just found out from this. And we're gonna hear more testimony around the relationship from Isaiah later, but we're just gonna go through her redirect.
What kind of vehicle does your mom or Haneen drive? How would you describe what those vehicles look like?
My sister Haneen would drive.
Okay, we don't need that testimony. So the next part that we're gonna go into is the part where the defense drew some blood, I would say, in my opinion, and they're trying to clean it up. And it was the part where she told the police that the mom did not want to hurt her. So the defense for the mom is trying to use this to say that she did not take part in the attempt to kill him, because even the daughter is saying that there was no intent from the mom to do what she did. So let's hear how the prosecution is trying to clean that up.
Said around the throat, around my neck, and my chest.
I'm talking about your mom. And when Mr. Leary was talking to you yesterday, do you remember him talking about your mom and how your mom was holding you?
Yes.
Do you remember Mr. Leary gesturing with his arms low and around? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Is that how your mom was holding you?
No.
How was your mom holding you?
Like I said, around the throat, around my neck, and my chest.
Okay.
So the idea that you're getting is both parents are literally trying to, if this is this discipline, I don't get it, because at least if it was one parent, maybe, but both parents joining in just seems a bit excessive to me. I've been disciplined by my parents, and it's always been one by one. It's always been I either get disciplined by my mom and I talk to my mom, or I get disciplined by my dad and talk to my dad. It's never been both of them going at one point. So when I hear this testimony, I'm pretty sure the jurors are gonna draw from their own experiences and just think that's very weird that both parents were engaging in the act of discipline, both of them holding the neck of the daughter, because that's what she's testifying to here, that both of these parents were choking her, and her arm was around their neck. But of course the defense for the mom is she was trying to assist the father she was trying to more or less, I think that's what they're arguing, that she was trying to stop the father from doing what she did, and the arm around her neck is not really that, it's not really to choke her, but trying to get the dad's hand off her neck. That's what I got from the way that they were cross examining the previous witnesses, because everyone was saying that the mother's hand was around her neck as well.
He also asked you if You thought your mom was trying to hurt you at the time, and you said no. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you want to believe that your mom is trying to hurt you?
I don't want to believe that.
So this is a good line of questioning, because the fact that she told the police that her mom didn't try to hurt her and she didn't give any reason for that, this question just opens up the idea that she just couldn't believe that her mom would join in this, and that's why she just said no, I don't think she actually meant to do it, or I don't think she did what she did. And the fact that she's now saying I don't actually believe that she wanted to do that is kind of presenting the mindset of a daughter losing faith in her mom, or like had so much faith that the mom would be the one to stop the dad and bring peace. And now you're like, oh shoot, what do I think? Like, my mom was on top of me as well, strangling me. So that's what I think that this testimony is doing, is humanizing her. Well, showing how much of, it's basically showing that she's not definitely saying that her mom was not out to go against her.
How do your parents normally hold you if they're comforting or hugging you? What does that look like?
I don't know.
And what do you mean by I don't know?
It's really rare for me and my mom or my dad to hug.
So you don't have a good baseline experience for hugging with your parents?
Yes.
Is it fair then to say that they're not big huggers?
Yes.
I get the reason why the defense were going down this route in terms of the hugging route, because they're like, well, this girl's parents, according to what she's saying, and I can predict this coming up in the closing testimony as well, like that this girl, she doesn't experience hugging in the household. She doesn't even see the parents showing affection, but all of a sudden they are all on her neck in a hugging type of way, and this is supposed to be disciplined affection or something like that. Don't buy it. That's the idea that I think that they're trying to basically paint with this, because they're like they are only going down to do what they did to try and kill her. But because other people were there, they were not successful. So let's go into the recross examination where the defense were highlighting more reasons why the school were keeping why she wasn't always in school. All right, come this one. Say something. Okay, maybe I got the wrong timestamp.
So back to our conversation yesterday about the interview that we talked about. And I
Yeah.
just want to be accurate. So when we were talking about you hearing your mom say, my daughter, you initially said you thought that she was saying that to you, correct?
Yeah.
And then I said, to you, question mark? And then you followed up and said, to me or somebody, I don't know.
Yes.
Just that she was saying my daughter more than one time. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to be accurate, right? So initially you said, I thought it was to me, but it could have been to me, it could have been to others, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that you described her tone as sad, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, Ms. Stone followed up and said that you don't want to think that your mom wanted to hurt you, correct?
Yes.
And that's fair. You told the police that night at the hospital that you didn't think that your mom was trying to hurt you, correct?
Yeah.
And that you thought that she was trying to protect you from the chaos, correct?
I don't remember that.
Okay. But if an officer came later and testified to that, would you disagree with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
So we're getting the idea that there might be a testimony later on in regards to her actually saying that the mom was trying to protect her. I don't know anything around that because it's not like they brought in a testament to a. It's not like they brought in a statement to actually try and say, but you did say this, or this was what was recorded, or anything like that. It's just up in the air, and we don't even know if this officer is going to testify to this fact. So all we have is her own testimony saying that no, I don't remember even saying that, or things like that, and that's all the jury are mainly going to consider, based on the jury instructions that they're going to get. The next witness that was up was that goes by the name of Zayla, and she was the eyewitness on that night. She basically testified that she has known Fatima Ali from school, and when she was at the bus stop, her father was talking with her and had grabbed her, and from there it went into the fight where Isaiah had pushed him away, and then the dad punched him and then went unhurt. Everyone's story is literally the same thing. So that was the bulk of her testimony. But there was a part of Zayla's testimony that really stuck out to me, and that was the part in which the mother, because a lot of the testimonies now are focusing on at least what the mother's actions were like. Remembering back from day one, I don't think the bus driver gave too much information around what the mom was doing. If memory serves, I think he was just talking about the father and the fact that he was trying to get the arm off the neck of Fatima, and I believe that the testimonies from the two bystanders that came out of the car, they I think only he testified that the mom joined in, but they didn't go into much detail about the grabbing. Zayla, I believe, provided a lot of information in regards to what was going on with the grab. So let's go ahead and listen to what she had to say on this direct exam.
Believe that she was helping her husband.
When Allie had tried to get off, or when she had got away from her father, she had tried to run, and her mom had grabbed her, and she was grabbing her by the throat and stuff.
Okay.
So that testimony from Zayla is really key, because now you get the idea that she was separated from the father, and the mom was actually trying to bring her back into the danger zone and was grabbing her by the neck. And there wasn't. I tried listening for the cross of this. They didn't even go into. They didn't do a good job trying to at least show her memory was faulty or anything like that. That was the same testimony that she continued giving when they were asking her questions to this. Of course, all of this means intent. That's what that's what these testimonies are for. But I do feel like the intent portion for the mother might be a lot weaker in terms of attempted murder. Like, I think the dad's one is a lot stronger in regards to the mom's one. But let's continue listening.
And when you saw Allie's mom grab her by the throat, do you remember what Allie did or say?
She pushed her away.
Okay.
All right, so that's all that's all the testimony I want. I'm gonna go next to the next eyewitness, and he goes by the name of Caleb. Also friends with, not best friends as he testified to, but friends with Isaiah. Didn't really know. He's not friends with Fatima, and he didn't really know her too well outside of the school environment. And he testified to her face turning purple, and he gave probably the best description that I've heard anyway in regards to what her features looked like when she was on the floor and being choked out. So let's go have a listen, because all of this is to show that it's a show that it's not just an assault, that it went beyond an assault, and and based on the eyewitnesses and what the people were are testifying to, she could have lost her life. Let's listen.
And her eyes started rolling back, and that's when her face started to like it
You were pulling out, and
too.
okay. And with regards to while you were on the ground as well, you indicated you were pulling on the man's jacket and then you were hitting him. While you were doing that, did you see what was happening to Fatima?
Yeah, at first it turned from like her trying to like grab his arms and stuff to like kind of like flailing her arms, and her eyes started rolling back, and that's when her face started turning purple and lips.
Okay. And then what happened to her after that?
She just completely fell limp. There was no movement.
Okay.
So this testimony again is key because at this point you can say that she was unconscious, and she only regained the life when they successfully had let her go, because we're going to hear testimony from Isaiah where he's going to testify to this. But I just want to quickly pause this because I just want to quickly zoom and go on to Athena's testimony. But the main point I wanted to get out of this is the he testified something similar to what the other witnesses or what the other eyewitnesses were testifying to, but a lot of them could not remember exactly what Fatima looked like or anything like that, because they were busy trying to restrain the father. He wasn't. He was actually just watching. So he actually has a good vantage point of what was happening with Fatima based on his testimonies, and to me this is showing that it was definitely excessive and not in the realm of assault, and not in the realm of first degree assault or anything like that, that he could have lost his life, and the intent to kill was likely there from the father. So let's go into the next witness testimony, and she goes by the name of Athena. She was also the eyewitness that didn't get involved. I think she was recording from her phone. So let's hear what she has to say.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Both hands around her neck.
Okay, let me go back a little bit.
Yeah, where everyone was at first, so they completely to the floor.
Okay.
In the dirt area instead of the cement area where everyone was at first, so they completely moved into the dirt.
Okay. And you indicated that he sort of grabbed Fatima. How did you see how he grabbed her?
By her neck, like
Okay.
both hands.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Both hands around her neck.
Okay.
She heard that. I like this lawyer because she heard what she said, but she just wanted her to repeat it so that the jury can hear it again, so that you can see that this is not discipline, that this was an actual attempt to try and take a life. Going with both hands is really excessive, in my opinion, to the neck, and it shows a great deal. It just shows that this person was hell-bent on going for the killing, which is what the state is trying to prove.
And when they, you indicated Fatima and her father at some point ended up on the dirt ground. When they ended up on the ground, where were her father's hands or arms?
Either on her neck or holding her down onto the floor.
Okay.
But once we were looking at her face, she was not able to breathe, so.
Okay. Let me ask you a different question. You indicated that when they first ended up on the ground, how far away from them were you? Do you remember?
Maybe like 5 to 10 feet.
Yeah,
We
she was
were
pretty
all
close.
just talking, and it was like so sudden, and then everyone had swarmed and kind of tried to help whatever was going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
she was pretty
then,
close.
you
She was pretty close. So she's saying that everyone sworn, but there was testimony earlier on the direct exam that she was actually recording the incident. Again, I'm gonna go through all of this, all of the trial on my full trial recaps that I do on the catch up. So keep an eye out for that video. I've done other recaps of trials that you can go see with on the on the catch up on the channel. But yeah, so I will put a lot more information in there as I go back and review this case that I may not have covered on this stream. So there is a lot more detail that I would put in there so that you can get a full idea of what happened in court if you don't want to watch the full trial. But anyway, let's continue with the recap. The cross-examination here, I believe, was really favorable for Zahraa Ali, who is the mother, and I think that this cross-examination kind of gives the idea that she did not go out there intending to try and kill her, that the fact that she went out and grabbed the daughter may have just been an act to try and stop her from going to the school because she knew that they were getting in even more trouble or something like that or anything like that, but it wasn't intentional. So I think that this cross-examination done well, and we're gonna see why. Let's watch.
And you reported that nothing got physical until the bus arrived. Is
Yes,
that right?
sir.
Okay. And how far away from everyone were you at that point, from Isaiah and Fatima? And the father?
The bus stop isn't too big, so I'd say like maximum 20 feet.
Okay. And were you watching what was going on?
Yeah, well, I was like not fully tuned into it, but I would look over because it was
Okay.
obnoxious. It was,
And then, so when the bus came, you saw her father reach and grab her shoulder?
yes.
Okay. And at that point, is that when Isaiah got
Yes, sir.
involved? And what
Yes,
did
sir.
Isaiah do?
He had tried to grab. No, you're not gonna grab her, basically.
Okay. And then, so at that point, the video started, the bus was coming.
Yes, sir.
That's right then, right?
Mhm.
So
All
the
right. So yeah, this is Ihsan Ali's lawyer's cross. So what I believe, based on this testimony, and I'm gonna touch on it again, I believe that they are trying to, and I don't know if you can even do this, but I believe they're trying to claim self-defense for the assault charge against Isaiah. For what happened with Isaiah, I think they're trying to say that he did that in self-defense. The only reason why he reacted the way he did was because Isaiah put hands on him, and I don't know how successful that argument is going to be in closing. I don't know if they're even gonna plead self-defense to that. But what it sounds like is they are laying cease to basically say that, yeah, what this guy did in this scenario was in reaction to this guy putting hands on him first, and he felt threatened and reacted by punching him. So it wasn't with malice or anything like that. That's what I'm guessing that they're going for, and the next part of the testimony that she gave in regards to Zahraa Ali and when she entered the fray, I think was favorable for Zahraa Ali in terms of trying to show that she didn't go out there intending to kill Fatima, or because she is facing the same attempted murder charge.
At that point, I don't think so.
Okay, so she wasn't actually there then when the whole incident itself was going on?
No, she just came to the aftermath of what was going on and saw everyone detained and on the floor. And
All right. And did you see another woman that was
Yes.
there? Okay, and do you know her?
I've seen Fatima running or like walking around with her at school, so I was just assuming it was her sister.
Okay, all right, so you assume that the other one was the sister. And you saw her, did you see her filming? I don't know, we don't use film anymore. Did you see her with a phone?
Recording.
Yes.
I can't say I remember that. No.
Okay, so that's the bulk of the testimony. The fact that she is testifying that the mother came in on the aftermath and wasn't part of it. I think this might be enough to at least for the mother being not being part of the initial attack, and it was just the dad. So I think that might be enough to get the idea, at least in front of the jury, that she didn't go out there with the main intent to hurt Fatima. The next witness that testified was Officer Julie Mullen, who is a police officer, and she testified to just speaking with Isaiah about the incident. They didn't really go into detail of what was even said with Isaiah. So she was just there to basically give testimony and basically say, yeah, I spoke with him. I know about the incident that happened, and that was the bulk of her testimony. I'm now gonna go to Isaiah, and I'm gonna play a lot of this because there was a lot of testimony in regards to the relationship that he had, with Fatima, and he knew a bit about the home life. They couldn't go into detail, so his testimony felt a very disjointed, and you can tell because of the restrictions around what they could talk about. So try and make I tried to make sense of it. But there was nothing around. They couldn't even mention that there was an incident in September, like we talked about on day 2 of the recap. There was an incident in September that the father had pulled him out, that the father had took out a restraining order. They couldn't even go into that, so he had to mention the fall. That's all he could say. He could say that as something happened during the fall, and that was it. They couldn't go. So it's, in my opinion, it's just like all of these rules that the judge has to play just so that they don't prejudice the defendant. In my opinion, you already allowed in the testimony into the restraining order. Why they can't go into it in regards to Isaiah is beyond me, because it's directly affecting him, and that is why he had. But anyway, the judge has spoken. Anyway, let's hear the testimony in regards to meeting Fatima's mom at the school, and also meeting her siblings.
And would you describe yourselves, the two of you, as acquaintances, friends, or something else?
Along the lines of, dating.
Okay.
That's him and Fatima.
And when did you meet Fatima originally? How long have you known Fatima?
For almost 2 years. I met her during my freshman year when she was a sophomore.
And that's his dad there, the man that took out the restraining order, and he testified on day 2. We went through his testimony. You can go watch on day 2.
October of 2024. How would you describe your relationship at that time?
Together, we were together.
You were together?
Yes.
And by together, do you mean dating? Okay. Did you tell your parents when you started dating or talking to Fatima, or at some point?
Yes.
And without describing any circumstances, did she ever meet your parents?
Yeah.
Do you remember when?
No, I don't remember when.
Okay. But she has met your parents at some point?
Yes.
Now, I don't know exactly, because there was testimony that he gave later on about Fatima. I'm gonna let it play, but there was testimony that he gave later on in regards
Without describing any specific circumstances?
in regards to Fatima wearing a mask. And I remember the testimony that Fatima gave, that she wore a mask to go to school. Again, they couldn't go into detail of why. And I believe all of this is the previous times that the school had stepped in and taken Fatima. I stepped in and taken Fatima away to stay in in a safer place where it was a school. This was around that September time as well, and they're going into that testimony, and he couldn't even go into what was happening, or he couldn't even talk about what he was called in there for. But he was called in to go and see Fatima based on what the school had determined was a chaotic home life. I only know this because they made an argument in regards to previous. I only know this because the state had made previous arguments on day 2 in regards to letting Fatima speak about the home life, and we found out that there was previous CPS calls, and one of the calls was in September where Isaiah was part of it as well. He couldn't get into that.
Have you ever seen or met her parents?
Yes.
Who have you met before?
I've met her mom and dad.
You've met her mom, what?
And dad.
And dad, okay. When, just in terms of timeline wise, when, if you recall, did you meet her mom?
At school. I don't remember the day, but it was at school.
And do you remember what, let me back up, is that the most recent school year that just ended?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what season would that be? Fall, winter, spring, or summer of,
Fall.
that year?
Fall.
Fall?
Yes.
What about any siblings? Have you ever met any of her siblings?
Yes.
And who did you meet for her siblings?
I met her sisters and her brothers.
And at the start of last year for school, in September of 2024, was Fatima still going to school with you?
Yes.
At some point, did that change?
Yes.
Do you recall when that changed? When abouts that changed?
Fall, more towards October.
Okay. Of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she talk to you about why that changed?
Yes.
At that time of it?
Yes.
Or later?
At the time.
Okay.
If you can't go into the testimony, the best thing you can do is give the the best thing you can do is give the jury enough detail to basically make them wonder what did go on in that household that let this girl be so fearful that she would only be in school and all these things. Why are we hearing this testimony? Why are we hearing that there was a restraining order being taken out by the father, which the mom violated? That's the only reason why we, all of these things is going to fester in the jury's mind.
About it prior to it occurring or after she stopped coming to school?
Prior.
And then I'm going to ask you some questions about October 18th of 2024.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
On the morning of Friday, October 18th, 2024, did you go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
And what time does school start?
7 o'clock.
I'm sorry?
Oh, 7:30, I'm sorry.
7:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Dang, I can't remember my school starting that early.
2 o'clock.
And previously you said you have Mr. Thomas for U.S. history. Does that start at 7:30?
Yes, ma'am.
So they were basically in the same class because we heard testimony from Fatima in regards to having history class and she, I believe she said, if memory serves me properly, that she had history that morning as well. She couldn't go into detail about going into the school or why she tried to go to school. She only gave testimony in regards to going to Walmart, I believe, before going to the bus stop. But the plan was to always meet Isaiah at the bus stop. Basically, is what he is testifying to.
And was that first semester in the fall of October 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anything unusual happen during class on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Without repeating anything that anyone said to you, what happened in class on that day?
Mr. Thomas had seen Fatima because she came through the doorway.
Mr. Thomas you said Mr. Thomas had seen Fatima because she came through the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened next?
He had told me that she was outside.
And did you step outside?
Yes.
Okay. Did he call you out to come outside?
Yes.
And did you leave class when you were called?
Yes.
Where did you go when you left class?
Next to the door in the hallway.
Okay. And without repeating anything anyone said to you, what happened when you got there?
Fatima talked to me.
And how did Fatima appear to you? Meaning, how was she dressed? Did she have any items with her? How did she physically appear?
She looked kind of like tired, and she had her backpack.
She had her backpack.
Yes.
So
And you,
this gives the idea that before that she must have been taken out of the hospital early, and she was that they deemed that she was able to go to school, or she was just taken to the school nurse and being treated there. I don't know which one is which, but I do remember the testimony in which I believe also it was on day one where the officer, where Officer Hang testified to actually going to the hospital, St. Pierre's Hospital, to speak with CPS and get a statement from Fatima. So I remember that testimony from day one. So I'm trying to connect it all together, and they likely discharged her from hospital early, and she just went straight to school, and this is where she met back up with Fatima. So I wish the question of time was asked so that it's a bit clearer as to what times all of these things were happening.
you say she looked tired. What do you mean by that?
Like she didn't get like any sleep.
Okay. And what did Mr. Thomas do?
He gave her some food.
When you say he gave her some food like what?
Some applesauce, some crackers.
And where did he go?
Back into the classroom.
Okay. And what happened next?
He told me to go back into the classroom, and she went downstairs.
Okay. So you went back into the classroom. Did Mr. Thomas talk to Fatima?
For a little bit, not too long, just
Okay.
a brief quick second. Yeah.
And you talked to Fatima for a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
How long would you say you talked to Fatima for?
Probably like 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay. Did she explain to you, again, without repeating anything she said, did she explain to you why she was there?
Yes.
Okay. And did she explain to you what was going on?
Yes.
And then you said you went back to class and you saw Fatima head which direction?
Down the hall, towards like the stairs, going downstairs.
What's downstairs in the school?
The counseling center, the office.
Do you know who the counselors are at your school?
Some
Who
of
are they?
them. I don't know them by like heart, but I know there's Miss Robinson. There's that's what I know.
Miss Robinson is
I don't
one.
remember the others. I'm sorry.
That's okay. How many counselors do you know?
Only mine and Miss Robinson and Miss Johnson, I believe.
Okay. So are there 3 counselors?
Yes.
So there's Miss Johnson, Miss Robinson, and then you said mine. Is there a 3rd counselor and you just don't remember her name, or his name?
Yes, I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay. And did you see Fatima again at all that day?
Yes.
And about when did you see her?
4th period.
And what do you have during 4th period?
Math.
Who's that with?
Miss Diepa.
Miss Diepa? Where did you see Fatima? Meaning, did she come to Miss Diepa's class like you described with Mr. Thomas's class, or did you see her somewhere else in the school?
I had stepped out to blow my nose, and she was walking with her counselor down the hall.
Do you remember which counselor she was walking with?
I believe, I don't know if it was her counselor or it, I don't know, yeah, just a counselor.
You just remember that it was a counselor?
Yes.
Okay. And where was she walking towards? Which direction was she walking towards?
She was walking towards the back of the school to the portables.
I'm sorry?
Walking like towards the portables. She was heading towards the portable.
Towards the portables?
Yes, ma'am.
Does your school have portable buildings at the school?
Yes, ma'am.
What are in the portables? Are those separate classrooms?
They
Are they
can be.
offices? Or are they something else?
They could be classrooms or offices.
I'm going to ask if you can get just a little bit closer to that
Yes, ma'am.
microphone, if you don't mind. Thank you so much.
I know it feels,
So let's go into the incident where he testified to what happened at the bus stop, and Yeah. Let me just try and find it properly. There we go.
We waited for a second, and then the car moved and pulled up, and then I asked Noah, my friend, if there was a if somebody was coming out of the car, and he said yes.
And was Noah your friend at the bus stop as well?
Yes.
May I republish another tweet? So what happens next? Does Dad approach you?
Not me, but he approaches Fatima, and they have a conversation in their language.
They had a conversation in another language?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how would you describe the volume of that conversation?
I would say it was kind of soft at first, but as she kept backing away, you could hear him getting more upset.
How did she look during this conversation?
She looked frightened. She didn't know what to do. She just kept stepping back.
Consistent, afraid, fright, fear of the parents, fear of all this.
Was he backing up from her, following her, staying stationary, or something else?
Following her.
And what are you doing while this conversation is going on between Fatima and her dad?
I'm kind of on the side of them while they're talking, in between me basically, but I'm on the side. So they're having their conversation and I'm just right here.
Next to her?
Yes.
Okay. Are you comforting her in any way?
Yes, I'm rubbing her back.
Yeah, and
Why are you doing that?
yeah,
Because I knew how she felt.
and that's why I
just
think,
talked to you about
and that's why I think that the dad may have reacted to this.
Yes.
Did you notice any response from her dad as to your contact or your presence?
I think they were just talking back and forth. I didn't know what they were saying. So.
Okay. Did he say anything to you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did he say anything to you in English?
I don't remember if he did.
Okay. What happens next?
We're walking closer to the bus stop, and he starts to get more aggressive, and we see the bus, so we I try to push her a little bit so we could get ready to go, and then he grabs her, and I look back up at him, and then he punches me, and then for a second I don't know what happened for a second, and then I see him grab her, and they had got to the ground, and I had came over.
Let me interrupt you for a second, okay? When you say
So
he grabbed her initially, as you indicated that the bus is coming, where did he grab her, if you remember?
He grabbed her shoulder.
Her shoulder?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you do when you saw him grab her shoulder?
I tried to push them away from each other.
Okay. And what did that look like?
I tried to push her away.
Push her away?
Yeah.
And how did you do that?
I tried to grab his arm and grab her shoulder so I could try to separate them.
Okay. And what happened when you did that?
He punched me
Where did he punch you?
on the side of my face,
Do you remember which side of your face?
my left side.
Okay. And can you just point to where he punched you? And you're pointing to the left side by your temple next to your eyebrow, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And
so right there we have the assault with the 4th degree. I believe he is the 4th degree assault, and and the testimony there just seems, based on what he testified to, it seems like the defense are trying to argue that the only reason why he did that was because you had laid your hands on him, and this is based on the cross examination that happened, later on where they were going through all of this testimony again, and also he testified that let's go to that testimony because he talks about the sister grabbing his chain. Before we go into that testimony, I just want to say that he had broken down when he was describing the whole incident. He broke down in court, and they had to go for a recess, and he was describing what Fatima looked like when they came back from the recess. So yeah, let's go into that testimony to in regards to what Fatima looked like when she was being choked. Hold up, let me just flash forward a little bit.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to lean in again.
Yep.
Okay. When we left, you were talking about how Fatima appeared
Yes,
at
ma'am.
this point. What did you see? You described her as being pale, her eyes like rolling up in her head.
Mhm.
Anything else that she appeared to you?
At first she was trying to fight it, and then she kind of just like her arms kind of just fizzed out a little bit, and then she just like went limp.
So to make sure, because I
Oh.
want to make sure that
How much did you guys miss? Oh gosh, I hope you guys didn't miss the bulk of that testament. Thank you so much, Trial Channel, for the heads up. Sounds like reasonable. Sounds like there might be reasonable doubt at this point for the mom. I believe so. I don't think the mom is gonna get the attempted. She definitely gets the restraining order violation, but I don't think she gets the attempted murder. I don't know when you said share your screen. I don't know if it's recent. So if I didn't share before, I hope that my commentary was enough to kind of shed light. Or I hope that you picked it up on the mic. I do apologize for not showing the screen. But yeah, let's continue.
everyone heard you. You said at first she was trying to fight it, and then did you use the word frizzed out? Is that how you described it?
Yeah, like it was like her arms were like moving around for a second.
So she was trying to fight it, then she frizzed out, her arms were moving around for like a second, and then you said she just went limp.
Yes, ma'am.
When she went limp, were her dad's arms still around her neck?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's key. That's intense right there. That, like, I mean, you can argue that you can argue because I believe from what we read in the charges, or how to go ahead in judging attempted murder, unless there is a necessary I believe the language was unless that there was a necessary reason to stop. So a necessary reason would have been you are looking at this person and they're near death. So you decided, nope, I'm not gonna do it. If that's the case, then it's not attempted murder. It would have been likely that you were just trying to restrain the person, and they ended up and it's just assault or anything like that. But based on this testimony, it just sounds like it's definitely the intent is definitely there to kill, because she went limp, she looked like she was losing consciousness, and the father just kept going and went over that threshold.
And what is everyone else doing at this point while she is limp?
Freaking out.
They're freaking out?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember if any of the adults are there at that point?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't remember? Okay,
Just need a verbal response to the
No,
last
ma'am.
one.
thank you. And at some point then, once adults arrived, was the crowd or adults able to get her loose?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when they were trying to release her? What happened next, as you remember?
I just kept punching him, and then I saw his eyes go closed and his grip released, and whoever came in pulled like the rest of his arms off of her, and she was able to get free.
Okay. And what happens when, so you said the adults there, she's released, and what happens when she's released?
Once I seen her get up, she was very concussed. She didn't know what was going on. I tried to like get her so I could lead her so we could like to the school so we could get somewhere safe.
So I hope again. Sorry for not sharing my screen earlier. I really hope that you guys did catch a bit. Did catch the testimony, but this, like I said, this is very key testimony to showing intent. And now they're gonna go into her mom's role in all of this. I think that's what Isaiah. He testifies that the mom was on her and was holding her down. And when she was released, she ran away from the mother, and she was chasing behind her, trying to, trying to get her back as she was trying to go towards the school. So it seems like the bus stop would have been a few rides, and it seems like you could walk to the school, or that it wouldn't be that far. So so what they were thinking is, let's just leave this area. Let's just try and escape all of this rather than wait for the bus.
But I think it was just a dress. I'm not sure.
You remember her being in a dress?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then was Haneen in a dress or in pants then?
I believe it was pants.
Believe pants?
Yes, ma'am.
And when is the first time that you remember seeing Fatima's mom and sister?
When Fatima got free, they rushed over.
Okay, and that's the first time you remember seeing them?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember if Fatima's mom or sister ever struck or made contact with you?
Yes.
Who?
I believe it was both.
Do you remember specifically if her mom made contact with you?
Yes, he tried to grab me at the end.
She tried to grab you at the end?
Yes.
And you said you've previously met Mrs. Ali, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So she knows who you are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did Fatima speak with you in like her normal voice or anything like that that you remember while her mom had her around the throat?
No, other than I can't breathe. And I believe that like she was still in shock, and that like feeling someone's arms around her neck was.
So when you say I can't, she said no, something like I can't breathe. Was it in her normal voice, a different voice, or is that an assumption or something you heard, or what does that sound like?
It was more like she scratched it out of her throat, like it was like a cough almost, like it was like she couldn't really make it out.
And was that when she was standing up when you previously described, or down on the ground with her mom?
Down on the ground with her mom.
And what was Fatima's demeanor like once she is released from her dad and released from her mom and her sister? How does she appear to you?
Well, once we got free of them, like, she just took off running to the school. Like, I had to look back, and then she was already, like, trying to get away.
And how did she appear?
Very, like, she was heartbroken for sure. Scared.
Okay.
She wanted to get away.
And what happens next? You start running for the school, and then what happens?
Her mom was low-key, like, chasing behind us.
Did you say her mom was, like, low-key chasing behind you?
I apologize, yes,
That's
ma'am.
okay. What does that mean to you?
She was close to us for a second, and then we started to run faster
And so you ran faster, and where did you go?
to the school.
And who?
So I welcome D-Mart to the stream. This comment really, like, I've been geeking over the prosecution since day one. They're quite especially, I don't know the name of this exact lawyer, but But yeah, she has been really on the ball with her questions, really specific, really defined, and has done a good job in with the eyewitness testimonies. The other lawyer, I forgot her name, but she was the one that done the opening statement. She she dealt with more of the fact witnesses like the police and all of that. So, but this particular lawyer knows how to extract as much information as possible from the eyewitnesses. I really love her. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. The questions, in my opinion, were really good in giving a visual of what happened that day.
Who was running in front?
Fatima.
So were you following Fatima to the school?
More or less running alongside her, yes.
And where did she go?
We went straight to the office.
Why did you go to the office?
Because we knew we could get help.
So, like, just based on this testimony, it just seems like it makes me want to go back to Officer Hunt, because again, Fatima was taken to the hospital, but from what it sounds like, they went to the school when they escaped the parents. So when the officer gave the testimony on day one, I had the feeling that she was taken off, that she was taken by the police or by an ambulance to the hospital, because I don't know how he ended up going to St. Peter's General Hospital and spoke with Fatima, who was there. So I don't know how all of that is established. Maybe they're gonna get in the doctor to testify more into that. Maybe there was a paramedic. I doubt there was a paramedic on the scene, but yeah, I would love to know how they got to these locations and what the logistics was like. I'm gonna go into a cross-examination, and to be quite fair, it wasn't really eventful. In all fairness, they didn't really try to go into the whole choking or anything like that, but they did go into the relationship and how secretive it was. So but before, yeah, so let's go into that. Let's go into that right now.
And he let go.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
What you didn't testify. You said you continued to punch him, and I believe
Yes, sir.
she was punching him, is hitting him as well.
Absolutely, yes,
And
sir.
then it was Caleb that dragged him across the ground.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your other friend Zayla was there as well.
Yes, sir.
She was punching him.
Yes, sir.
All of this is happening at once.
Absolutely, yes,
Yelling and screaming.
sir. Yes, sir.
So essentially, a pretty chaotic situation.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you said you continued to punch him, and I believe what you didn't testify to this, but what you had said before was you punched him until his head went soft, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when you say that, what does that mean to you?
In the middle of his head, like when I kept punching, it just went soft.
It just went soft.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. And his head went soft, and he let go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was when all these other people started showing up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so from that point on, did you see him move anymore?
No, man. No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. And then you were there just a few seconds. Haneen came in at that point, right after he had already let go of Fatima, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Haneen comes in, and she starts yelling, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So she hadn't been there up to that point.
No, sir.
So the only thing she knew that was going on was that her father was laying there on the ground, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And at that point, Fatima was no longer right there, right?
No, sir.
She had moved behind,
Yes, sir.
and she was sitting behind with her mother,
Yes,
right? Her mother had got there a few seconds before Haneen, right?
Absolutely.
So they're sitting on the ground back there. The man from the truck is sitting there on on the ground next to Mr. Ali, holding him down. The bus driver was there for a short period of time, then he left, right?
Yes, sir.
And all the other people were gathered around.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. And so at that point, you start having an interaction with Haneen, right? She's screaming. and then you start talking to her. As a matter of one point, you pushed her hand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you were gonna hit her again, but somebody stopped you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you were mad at Haneen.
Yeah. She grabbed my chain and broke my chain. She scratched my neck.
Okay, and did you ever tell anyone that?
Yes, my parents.
Okay, you didn't tell the police or anything that though.
I don't think so, but there's
Okay.
pictures.
I don't know the value of that testimony. In my honest opinion, I don't know how much it goes to defending either the mom or the parent, but from what I'm guessing, it seems like the prosecution is trying to argue that had it not been for all of these people going at him and punching him and doing all these things, he may have let go of the daughter when he saw that she was losing life. But the fact that so many people were trying to restrain him, he didn't have the opportunity. I mean, I'm trying to make sense of what this cross examination, because all they're doing is going through the event, and they seem to be highlighting how many people were on him, and it seems to be that it seems to me that that's what they're trying to argue, that there was no way for him to actually let go of Fatima because of how many people were on him, and he would not actually, like, he could not maneuver or something like that. It's a long shot, but that's the only sense I could make from it. On the next part, of this cross exams, he testified to the secret relationship that they were having and how they used to go on picnics. So no, not picnics, sorry, not picnics. But he used to go to the park, and the sister Anine would be with them, and it gives the idea that people knew of the relationship, and they were just trying to facilitate, this whole thing away from the parents' eye.
I was trying to take her, yes.
Okay. All right, and at the time all this was happening, you said you were 16 years old?
Yes, sir.
And Fatima was 17?
Yes, sir.
Now, you had previously talked to your parents about dating Fatima, right?
Yes, sir.
And you knew she wasn't supposed to be dating anybody,
Yes, sir.
but that didn't concern you too much, the two of you dated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, secretly,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. For how long?
For a little while.
Okay, this happened on October 18th. How much is a little while?
Can you repeat the question?
How long were you dating?
A full year at that point, a year and a couple months.
9 months. Oh,
No,
yeah, wow.
9 months. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
9 months?
Yeah, eight to 7 to 9 months, around that range.
Okay, so you had started dating sometime in February.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's a long time. So this guy probably knows a lot more about what the home life was like, and of course they can't get into that, but it makes sense why he will be rubbing her back. It makes sense why Fatima will feel safe around him, and based on his testimony, it seems like Fatima and him were really planning to meet up this day, and they were gonna go to the school, and likely what may have happened is they I'm trying to make sense of a kid's action trying to run away from home. I would never understand it, but it just seems like they were gonna beg the dad here. He goes by the name of, is it Victor Barnes? I think his name is. He testified on day 2. Yes, Victor Barnes. I had to double check. But it seems like they were gonna ask him to let Fatima stay at the house. That was likely the plan or something, because I don't think the school would have accommodated Fatima. I think they would just send her back, based on the fact that they have done it on so many other occasions where CPS was called numerous times and nothing was done. She just kept going back to the house. So I think they were planning to just try and go to his parents, and they would put up with each other based on the testimony. I don't know for sure. But let's go to the last part. And I'm gonna close off on this because it's quite late over here. It's 2:15 a.m. But I really wanted to do this recap because there was so much background information that I could at least glean or speculate from Isaiah's testimony. It was quite the way that she approached, the way that the prosecution approached this testimony was marvelous in my eyes. There was so much detail to grab from it. If you can watch the full one, go ahead. But I'm going to do my best to try and bring every detail when I do the full recap of this case.
We're going to get out of here, right?
So what right now he's testifying to Fatima and how she lost consciousness and how she lost consciousness because what the defense were trying to do was make it seem like Fatima was not really injured and everything was exaggerated, but he kind of brought the sense.
And you weren't going to let mom stop, right?
No, sir.
Okay. And Fatima had a hard time talking, right?
Absolutely.
Given what she had just gone through.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you see her kind of pass out under Dad?
Yes, sir.
And did you see her kind of wake up afterward?
Yes, sir.
And was it like a light switch?
No, sir.
So it was kind of, she's coming back.
Slowly, yes.
Okay.
Like this is not a cross-examination. I don't know why he asked that question because that's a bad fact to let in. Like I don't know how else he would have attacked it, but hearing that Fatima was just regaining the consciousness slowly does suggest that she was unconscious for a while, and just like every strangulation that would probably happen, like people that die from strangulation, they don't people that survive strangulations, they do lose consciousness for a while, and then they get back, and then they regain consciousness when they have enough oxygen going back into their body. So I don't know why they would try and get this testimony out, because it just proves that the intent to kill from the father was there, and she was near death. At least that's what I think. So let's go into this last redirect, and this is why I believe there was a plan to meet up in school.
Do you know how many times you punched Mr. Ali, or is that just a number that you...
Oh, by the way, D-Mars, I don't sleep. I don't sleep on the weekdays when I already sleep. So don't worry. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I will be hitting the hay after this. But I rarely sleep. I always wake up around probably 11 a.m. in the morning, and then I'm just trying to do some editing and get all that out of the way. But yeah, sleep. What is that? I'll sleep in the weekend or something. I'll sleep in the weekend when I can rest.
You are agreeing to because defense counsel provided it.
It's a number that I'm agreeing to. I'm unsure.
Okay, you haven't counted.
No, ma'am.
So let me make sure I understand. During the course of this, you have been struck by Mr. Ali during
Yes,
the
ma'am.
event. You've watched him choke his daughter. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
accurate? You have had mom touching you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a no contact order with mom at that time.
Absolutely.
And now you have the sister Haneen, who has scratched you, broke your chain,
Yes, ma'am.
and she's in your face,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
And so when counsel asks you, you don't know what any of these individuals' intentions are you watching their actions?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And are you gathering information about their intentions based on the actions that they're taking towards you and the other children on scene that day?
Yes, ma'am.
last question. When, I don't recall plainly if it was Mr. Kading or Mr. Leary, but when they asked about, I believe it was Mr. Kading, said when you were inserting yourself into this situation. This is a situation, was this a situation that you initiated or that you were sent off on by school officials?
What a question.
Can you rephrase the question?
Sure. Did you tell Fatima, hey, I coordinated this nonprofit stay for you and let's go get on this bus together? Or was that information given to you by other adults that worked at the school?
Other adults that worked at the school.
So when they sent you out, they sent you with Fatima out to do that thing, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this isn't something that you personally have inserted yourself in.
They opened the door. I just realized, the defense on cross-examination opened the door as to why in their self-defense questioning, because I felt that they were going for a self-defense motive, that the only reason why he was doing this is putting himself out there was because he didn't like the dad or the family, and he was inserting himself into this by trying to push the father away and all of that. And just like that, they open the door so that they can say that no, they were actually going to a non-profit. They can't say where they're going to. They can't say what organization it was, but they were going to a non-profit set up by other people, not them. It's a brilliant question. It just hit me that they just opened the door. Oh wow! It literally just hit me. Let me go back a little bit. Actually, let me listen to that, because it took me a while to actually get it.
Last question. When I don't recall plainly if it was Mr. Kading or Mr. Leary, but when they asked about, I believe it was Mr. Kading, said when you were inserting yourself into this situation. This is a situation. Was this a situation that you initiated or that you were sent off on by school officials?
Can you rephrase the question?
Sure. Did you tell Fatima, hey, I coordinated this nonprofit stay for you and let's go get on this bus together? Or was that information given to you by other adults that worked at the school?
Other adults that worked at the school.
So when they
Oh, this is funny. So they done all that work to keep that information. So now the jury gets to hear that the only reason Fatima was running away from home and is that now there was actually a plan to take Fatima away from home and give us a safe place to stay. They couldn't go into that before, but now they can, because the defense were arguing that Isaiah was putting himself in the situation which basically caused the dad to do what he did. I mean, wow, talk about shooting yourself in the foot. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
sent you out, they sent you with Fatima out to do that thing, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this isn't something that you personally have inserted yourself.
No, it doesn't seem like it was a regular thing. That's a very good point. Because based on what they talk about, why are you running to the school if the bus takes you to the school and they were waiting at the bus stop? Why are you running to the school then if the school was just right there? So we gained the idea that they were actually planning to go somewhere else. Like, I actually didn't notice this. I actually didn't notice this when I was watching live. I just noticed that when I was watching it live, I thought it was a plan between Isaiah and her to go somewhere and find a place to stay and go through all of that. That's what I thought, and I thought they were gonna go to the dad, but I didn't actually know that they were going somewhere else that the school had arranged to go. That's why they were even at the bus stop. So all of these times, I was thinking that they were going to the school because they were at the bus stop to go to school. But it seems like they came from the school to be at the bus stop to go somewhere else, and the somewhere else that they couldn't name before can now be named. Damn! All because of the defense questioning. Did not see that coming.
Versus being I don't know if directed is the right word, directed, invited, acquiesced by the school. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
So the adults involved in this situation knew this plan, created this plan, and were a part of this plan. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
They blew the door. I have to look. I'm going to include this in my full recap. So I'm gonna have to listen back to the full cross-examination and try and get where they actually blew the hinges of this door, because we know the rulings from the judge. She had closed the door on there being any mention of CPS, there being any mention of any other place trying to take away. But I don't know how. I don't know how they opened the door for Isaiah to be this grand master plan that was trying to take the daughter away from them. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to look into it. And on day 4 recap, yeah, we can go through it if there is not a lot of testimony. But I'm going to end it there. I'm going to end it there because that's pretty much the bulk of the testimony from Isaiah. So just to recap, yes, there was testimonies from the eyewitness. They all testified to Fatima losing consciousness, Fatima's face going purple, she was losing life, she turned pale, all of these things, all of these things. And there was testimony from Fatima Ali herself going through the police going to the hospital, etc. So like all of the just wow. So I need to go back and and look at this, because I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect that that testimony. But yeah, so there was a lot more to why they were at the bus stop. It seems they were trying to get away, and it was a school sanctioned. It was a school sanctioned plan to take Fatima away from the parents. But yeah, huge mistake. I wanna go back and find out what they did. I really do, because that is a huge mistake from the defense there. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Thank you Trial Channel and Dima for utilizing the chat and letting me know how you're feeling. Every single one of you that are here with me live, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching this back on replay. Don't forget to subscribe for more of our content. We have you can watch the full recap of the Raul Valley trial that we have on the channel. I'm also working on the Karina Rick Cooper full recap so that you can see so that you can see what happened in the trial without watching the full trial, because I know not a lot of people have time to do all of that. So before I go, see you next time. Thank you so much for your comment, Dmart. I'll be live again tomorrow for day 3 recap. So same time, it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you are available, make sure you tune in. The Trial Channel says, did his testimony end today, or is he coming back to? It's ended today. So that was the last redirect. I don't think there was a recross. I don't think there was a recross, but he might come back tomorrow for a recross. If he does, we'll just go through it again. But definitely, I'm going to have to look back on that testimony, because now I want to know how the defense blew the hinges down on this door. But I honestly did not see that coming. So they were not even getting a bus to go to the school. They were you could walk to the school. So the fact that you heard testimony that Fatima was actually running to the school. So now the jury are not gonna think, wait a minute, they were not getting, so if they were confused before, thinking that they were getting the bus to go to the school, that confusion is gone. That confusion is definitely out of the window now. So yeah, I'm really glad that they were able to at least get a form of testimony in to give the idea that the only reason why they were doing this to her, it's likely because she comes from an abusive home, and the intent, and in my opinion, this shows that there was a substantive step taken to go ahead and go for attempted murder. Whether they can get over that intent line remains to be seen, but I do think there's enough to show intent, especially with how many people were trying to get off him. I know that the defense are trying to argue that maybe too many people was just causing him to, not able to move his hands or do anything like that. I think that's what the defense are going with. I think that's what they're trying to argue. They have a right to do it, but I don't think it's strong enough. I think what we've heard today has really shown that this could be enough to get the attempted murder charge. But anyway, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3 recap. Hopefully you guys have a good evening or day wherever you're at. See you next time. And without further, do not forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you are watching this. Take care of yourselves and have a good evening. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Ketchup Court podcast. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe for more legal cases that we cover on this channel. We do nothing but cover legal cases and true crime on here. You can also check out our playlist that we have of all of our content. They're all available in the playlist option. Make sure you go check that out. So make sure that you hurry back and catch up with us. See you on the next one. Bye for now.